How's it going, guys? It's your main man, Prometheus, aka Lando Style Rizian, here in Irvine, California. Uh, actually, I'm delivering some sneakers to a buyer. I purchased the Caitlin Clark Kobe Protros. I don't know what I paid for them, like 180 or something like that, and I sold them for 320. So I'm just dropping them off here in Irvine. Yeah, it's been a while since I filmed. Just a lot going on in the world, especially with the black travel space, with that whole Floyd thing, and man, I just kind of wanted to see how that thing was going to go down, because I don't know, the way the Brazilian government was talking, it sounded like they were trying to implicate and sweep up any black traveler. You know what I mean? So, you know, I haven't even really been following that case recently. I don't even know what's going on with that now. Maybe someone can drop it in the comments. But yeah, that is a fiasco, man. Let me just say right now, for the record. Now, I want to say this also. Uh, you know, I don't like to accuse anyone of being guilty until they are found guilty. You know what I mean? But so I won't even use Floyd. I'll just say anyone messing around with anybody under the age of 18, needless to say, is a dirtbag and deserves whatever they got coming. Um, I also want to just remind people that when you go to other countries, you have to remember that the age of consent is whatever you are. Well, I don't know about other countries, but if you're American, the age of consent is American. It's federal government age of consent. That's 18. It doesn't matter if in the country you're visiting, the age of consent is something different, because there's all kinds of crazy ages of consent throughout the world. But as an American with an American passport, you have to follow what our federal government states as the age of consent, and that's 18. So if you're talking to anyone outside of that, you're probably going to end up in jail at some point, and or worse. Also, let me go ahead and say this, just as a thought that popped in my mind. When you're in a place like Thailand, so in Thailand, for those who haven't been, it's customary to go to certain bars and buy the girl a drink. It's called a lady drink, or something like that. So, and basically you'll buy the girl a drink, and then she'll come kick it with you, sit with you. Her drink costs a little more than your drink, and that's how the bar makes money. Well, you can assume that the bar has already ensured that the women are old enough to drink. Don't assume it, because again, the age of consent for drinking might be different in Thailand than it is in the United States. I would not recommend you buying a drink for anyone that you can't prove is over the age of 21, or you're right back to being Floyd. You're right back to having problems. I get it. You would think that the bar would insure this. Maybe they have insured it for whatever their rules are in their land. But you, as an American, make sure anything physical, the girl's over 18, I mean looking at IDs. And then another thing too, guys, like, if the girl doesn't physically look like she's over the age of 21, don't even try, because what's to stop a 16-year-old from pretending she's 18, right? And then she can later on blackmail you and say, hey, you know what? Guess what? I'm really 17 years old. I know I lied to you and told you I'm 18, but I lied. Now give me some money, or I'm going to report you. You don't know what's going to happen. People are desperate in these days and in this day and age, and they're desperate in these countries. So you should be able to look at someone and physically see. And there goes the buyer right now. But you should be able to look at someone and they should physically look like they're over the age of 21. And I know that isn't always an exact science, because sometimes girls look older. But A, she should look over the age of 21, and B, you should card her and make sure that she's of age of consent. So just do yourself a favor. You don't want to end up in the Floyd type of predicament. And again, I'm not accusing him of anything. He needs to have his day in court. You know, I want to be clear on that, but it's not looking good, and just be careful, guys. So, and trust me, man, you don't want to end up in a jail in a foreign country, man. You don't, especially black, man. Come on, man. You're gonna have trouble. So, but I will be starting my travels again probably next month. I'll be heading to the Philippines and Thailand. I'm gonna try to get there in February, probably mid-February, and I'm a stay in Southeast Asia. Sometimes I'll be in the Philippines, sometimes I'll be in Thailand, and I'm gonna stay there till probably April, unless something comes up in the United States where I have to come back. I have some rentals, so I'm trying to think what could come up, but if there's some business that I have to conduct, then I'll come back home. But I'm gonna try to stay for at least a couple of months so I can explore, because my goal is to start doing condo purchasing. Let me take that back. Condo rental. I'm gonna rent a condo in the Philippines, in Cebu, and Thailand. I'm at 2 condos. I'm just gonna go back and forth in whichever place that I feel the happiest with. That's where I will decide to live. Whether I actually buy a condo in either country, I don't know, because I'm hearing horror stories about purchasing, and I don't mind just renting. Obviously, if I just am dead set on living someplace forever, then yeah, I'll purchase, but only if I can purchase in my name. No girlfriend, no other person's name. So that's what's up with that. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hold on, I think my order's ready. Hold on. Not yet. Hold on. This is let's see where I'm at here in Main Street Plaza in Irvine, California. So it's just a little food. Oh, there it goes. Hold on. There goes my food. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Got the seafood hot pot and peach oolong tea. Hold on. You guys see that? That's a seafood hot pot. And peach oolong tea right here.
That's that oolong. That's that peach oolong. Getting in my getting in my Asian phase. So yeah.
I hope you guys can hear me well. Uh, I only have my AirPods in, so I hope it sounds coming up clear. Yeah, this food and this tea is delicious. Man. Healthy and delicious. That, my friends, was delicious. Now, it's kind of hard to feel fulfilled with just soup, you know, but I'm really trying hard to watch what I eat, guys. Really trying to take things to the next level. Trying to lean out. I hope those who have seen my past videos, especially from a few years ago when I was in the Philippines, I hope people can kind of see transformation, slow but sure. And I hope it's evident. I've really been trying to eat right, but yeah, it can be a bit boring. You know what I mean? In terms of the selection, I mean, like, I want a burger so bad. I want a fat burger so bad. You know what I mean? But hey, you know what? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get the results you want. And so that kind of brings me to what I wanted to talk about. And that is, so I've been on the internet, on the YouTube, some of the Reddit forums, and I've been hearing a lot of stories, personal stories about guys that are either getting played by the women in the Philippines and Thailand, or I'm even hearing people say how they go to Thailand, and some of these guys are black guys. A lot of them are white guys, if I'm being honest, but some of them are black. I'm even hearing people say how they go to Thailand or they go to the Philippines and they don't really find a woman at all, or if they do, it's just someone using them for money. Like they're really kind of striking out. And I'm like, what? How are you striking out in Thailand? You know, how is that possible? A strikeout? No, I mean, you can't find no one to like you in Thailand, and you're American, or you're British, or you're French, or you're Australian. What do you mean? And some of these people complaining are not even old. Like, I understand if a man who's 70 plus can't find a girl that truly likes him. And even that, to me, I don't really understand that either, because then that means you're trying to date someone that's too young. If you get yourself a girl that's 50 years old, even if you're 70, you should be able to find someone who likes you, you know what I'm saying? But what men have to realize when they go to these countries is, and I know I did a video like this before, but what has to be taken into consideration is you have to maintain yourself to a certain level, guys. I mean, and I have personal friends and relatives who have flat out told me that when they travel overseas, they don't really worry about really looking good, because their money is gonna do all the talking for them. Like, all the girls care about is money, so it doesn't really matter what they look like. That's true if you're okay with just hanging out with a girl for a few hours and you pay her and she goes about her business. But if you want to feel actual true desire in someone to actually like you, especially if you're trying to live overseas, or you're staying overseas long term for months at a time, you don't want every single girl you come in contact with to just want you only for money. Now, let's be clear. All women kind of want you for money, but you don't want that to be the only reason they want you. You know what I mean? That you're gonna have problems. You're not gonna be fulfilled. You're gonna run into women who are unhappy really being with you, and they're just there for the money. It's really a dangerous position to be in, if I'm being honest. Number one, if a woman is there with you just for money, she has no problem leaving you for the next person who has more money. That's the first thing you got to worry about. The second thing is she has no loyalty to you outside of what your money can purchase. So if she meets a guy that she actually likes, and that guy tells her to set you up to be robbed, hey, leave his front door open while he sleeps and I'll handle the rest, she might do that because she has no desire for you other than money. That's dangerous. You also run into the restaurant closing up there, metal gate. You also run into the situation of the Shannon Sharp situation, where if a girl only likes you for money, she'll just try to extract more money out of you, and that might include setting you up, lying on you. Thailand, from what I understand, has just come up with some new strict sexual harassment rules and laws that are similar to California. So you now more than ever have to worry about being scammed, being set up, being lied on. So if you're dealing with women that are only with you for money, you got to worry about that now. Some girl just setting you up, some girl pretending you harassed her, some girl pretending you did something to her in the bedroom just to extract money out of you. So and again, that's not to say that your income isn't going to be a part of your package. It's going to be a part of your leverage. Yes. Women, even those who actually like you, will also be interested in how you're able to provide, especially women that come from traditional cultures. Filipinos, Thai, anywhere in Asia, really anywhere in Africa, anywhere in Latin America too. Those women are going to be interested in whether or not you can support them financially, even if they are attracted to you legitimately. And that's okay. I'm fine with that because, in my opinion, a woman should be concerned with how well a man can support her. You know, that doesn't offend me at all, but you don't want that to be the only reason. And so, how do you prevent that from being the only reason? Well, you have to have some kind of sex appeal, guys, or something. You know, you gotta have your personality has to be on point, and you need to have some kind of sex appeal, guys. It's nonsense where you're completely out of shape, and I'm not saying you gotta be a hard body. You don't, but you gotta have something, guys. You either gotta dress nice. So, look, you gotta maintain your physique to a minimum standard, guys, where you at least look normal in your clothes. At least normal. At least not severely overweight in your clothes. Okay? Number two, you don't have to wear designer. but you should look presentable. Number 3, your grooming and scent. Odorant. Your grooming and scent have to be on point, guys. Now, it doesn't, again, you don't have to be designer with it. But you have to be minimally good. And you certainly can't be deficient in all 3 of those areas. Okay? Remember, and to black men, to my black viewers, all 3.5 of you, what you see when you walk around Pattaya or Bangkok and you see old white men with beer bellies, non-groomed, and yet they still have a baddie, they still have a gorgeous girl on their arm. Don't expect you to be able to do that. And I'm just talking brass tacks. I'm just talking the truth right now. Whether it's right or it's wrong, white people have a reputation of money and power. So that gets them through the door that you can't necessarily get through if you're following the same path. That old white man with the pot belly, he can still get a girl who's pretty because she is forgiving a lot of his deficits. She's actively overlooking them. If you're black and you're dealing with a race of women who already sort of don't really look down, who already sort of look down on dark skin, they are not going to forgive any deficits. So you simply can't do what Arthur and Chuck and Bradley do. You can't do it. You can't do it. You're going to make your life unnecessarily, you're going to make your dating life in these lands unnecessarily hard for yourself. Because you're someplace where if you exercise a bit of excellence in your grooming, in your fashion, and if you keep yourself in minimally good shape, you're in a place where you should have an abundance. And when I say abundance, I don't mean having indiscriminate sexual relations. I'm talking about where you should have dates and girls you're able to take to dinner and hang out with and go do fun things with regularly without scarcity. There's no reason why an American man who's taking care of himself in maintaining a certain level of excellence in his grooming and his fashion doesn't have at least 5 girls in his phone that he can call at any given time to hang out with who are attractive. It doesn't make any sense, guys. So this nonsense where I'm hearing of, there's one guy in particular, I don't want to say any names though, because I don't want to put anyone in the spot, but there's one YouTuber in particular that literally mentioned how, basically indicated he struck out in Thailand, and he's kind of acting baffled as to why, and you can see why. The grooming isn't so you just have to be mindful of keeping yourself intact. Now, again, I am not Idris Elba by any stretch of the imagination. I'm very well aware of my shortcomings, and I know I have a lot to still improve upon. But I'll be honest with you, in the times that I've been going to Thailand and the Philippines, I've never paid for a girl ever. And I never had a problem meeting regular girls who had nothing to do with the bar scene or with the adult industry scene. Never. Whether I met them on the internet, whether I met them in the mall, well, I met girls at farmers market, at the night market, at the mall, and on app. Never a problem. I'm not saying I'm the Arthur Fonzarelli, the Fonz or that, you know, but I've always been able to meet people without really any problems. And I mean, within a week, I would meet 5 girls. And so, and dude, I'm 5'5". I'm 58 years old. So if I can do it, there's absolutely no reason why anyone else can't. So, and I've done it over and over. So it wasn't just a fluke. I've been to Thailand 3 or 4 times. I've been to Philippines 5 or 6 times. And each time I met people. So all you have to do is maintain a certain amount of standard. You don't even have to be chiseled. You don't have to be, you just have to at least be normal. Normal built, normal dress. Sometimes, man, you can't always wear flip-flops, guys. I know it's hot. Sometimes you gotta put on the cool linen, especially if you're going out and you're trying to really, you know, you're going out on a mission to try to meet somebody. You can't wear flip-flops. You can't wear shorts every day, guys. I don't care what's, you know, if the white expats are saying that's okay, that's fine. You can't do it. You're not them. Chuck, with a mullet or his hair combed over and a pot belly and shorts, he can still get women because his forefathers' reputation preceded him, and it gives him the opportunity to date women out of his league no matter where he goes. That's just what they've got. We don't have that edge as black men, so we have to put in a bit of extra effort. And it's just what it is, guys. If you want to be able to, you know, date with the girls you actually are attracted to with some regularity. But this goes to the white guys too, because it's the white guys whose stories I'm also hearing about how poorly they're doing or they're being taken advantage of. Guys, get in the gym, guys, yeah, you might be a little older. Tai Chi, walk, whatever you got to do. Because I walk around Pattaya and I see a lot of guys out of shape. I mean, completely out of shape. And they're only in their 50s and 60s. These are not, you know, anybody can excuse someone in their 70s and 80s, even the girl. If you're 40, 50, 60, under 70, no, come on, man. I understand you might have a bad back, then control your eating. Do something. And step your fashion game up just a bit. I know it's hot. I know it's tropical. You see the Thai men, especially the high society Thai men, they are in the same hot conditions you are, and yet they look fly. They look good when they go out. They wear pants, they wear a button-up shirt, they just do it. Sometimes you gotta be a little bit uncomfortable to look good, guys. That is if you want to meet people and date people who actually like you. And as I said, it's dangerous to be with women in relationships who don't really like you. They're going to use you, they can set you up, they can even assist in your death. The slow poison. Not calling the ambulance when you need assistance. I'm talking about those older gentlemen who have medical issues. You have to rely on this woman. She needs to like you. She needs to like you beyond just money. So anyway, guys, that's it. This is your main man Lando style Rizian. Let's see. Little fit check. Let's do the little fit check. Got the bait. Check it out. I got the Bape Crocs. Of course I do. I got the I'm doing the Bape Crocs, guys. I'm doing the Bape. I'm baped out. I'm baped out, guys. Got the Bape hat. I'm baped out. So, your main man, Lando style Rizian here. I'll start picking up the filming a little more. But yeah, I just kind of took a little hiatus. I'm doing a lot of business moves and trying to get myself ready for Southeast Asia. I gotta make sure things are straight here before I go. So that kind of had me preoccupied, but I'm back. All right, guys, until the next one. These are the shoes I'm selling, guys, by the way. By the way, I hope that video I made came out clear. But these are the Caitlin Clark Nikes. So here in Irvine, this guy's apartment. It's dangerous kind of selling shoes, man. I don't like going to people's apartments, but that's them. Caitlin Clark Kobe's. Yeah, that's them. I think I paid like $180 for them, and I think I paid $180 for them, and he's buying them for $320. So a little bit of profit. So, you know, I have to drive like, 12 miles from my house. Not that far. So this is Skyloft. This is Irvine, guys. Irvine's a nice city in Orange County. So yeah, so if he doesn't rob and kill me, should have a cool little sale. Yeah. A little bit of hustling. You know, sneaker resale, other items I resell, purchase resale. If I can find them on discount or get a good deal, and if they're popular, I can up the ante, up the money on it. Nice apartments though. I mean, I haven't lived in an apartment in years, but nice area. Where's this guy at? All these Asian people checking. Irvine has a lot of Asian people, and I'm assuming they're Koreans or Chinese, but whatever they are, it's a lot of Asian people, a lot of money. Yeah, so this is the Skyloft, called the Skyloft. Let's check it. What do you think? 100% authentic.